Jose G. Hernandez, aka the Fact Checker, aka Jose Plus, really wants me to buy this one. This is the Darth Maul 2.0. I think I'm good though. Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the newly released HotToys 1/6 scale Darth Maul 2.0 and Sith Speeder or Bloodfin from the 1999 movie Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. This is part of the 25-year anniversary. 25 years, mad. 1999, 25 years. 25 years since The Matrix, 25 years since the Episode 1. Remember going in to see The Matrix. It was released, I think maybe a month, give or take a few weeks before Episode 1. I was looking forward to Episode 1 because I was an original trilogy fan, obviously. But I remember coming out of The Matrix going, nope, that's the best movie I'm going to see this summer. Possibly this year. And I was right. I think it's I preferred it to Episode 1. I still think it's a much better movie. But look, I did enjoy Episode 1 at the time. And you know what, I'll still... The prequels I'll still throw on every now and then, and I'll enjoy them. I will enjoy them. I definitely don't hate them. I don't hold them up as high as the original trilogy or Rogue One. But Darth Maul, probably the best thing to come out of the prequels as far as I'm concerned. What an amazing character, completely underused. They shouldn't have cut him in half. He should have been the kind of the main or the second villain, I suppose, after Palpatine for the trilogy. They could have done it. I think they could have done. They could have done things better, I think. But anyway, look, that's a story for another day. So this is, I want to check myself on this one. Is this, how much is this? It is at waitlist. It's 405. 405 is not bad considering you're getting the Bloodfin, the Sith Speeder. You're getting the probe droid. You're getting 2 head skulls. USB light up lightsaber, I believe. And I believe the Bloodfin is lit up by USB as well. I'm going to check that as well. But first of all, let's just take a look at everything it comes in. Now, bear in mind what I'm looking at here. We will look at the blogger photos, but what I'm looking at here... Apologies for quick interruption to this video. If you're watching this video right now, hit the like button, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel, and the support is greatly appreciated. Back to the video. These are the prototype images, the advertising ones. So it says LED light up function powered by USB. So the Bloodfin, from what I understand from just I watched I think it was Jay Brother Cousins stream earlier on, and I've seen a few people commenting stuff saying that the Bloodfin more or less looks exactly the same. Again, I don't want to misquote anyone, but that it looks very similar. And the one of the differences I'm seeing that the only difference that I'm seeing people point out is that it's USB powered. And look, let's face it, I think if you have the availability with the USB hubs and stuff like that, I'm sure a lot of people are delighted they don't have to be swapping out batteries, because let's face it, the batteries, people put them in, they take a few photos, and that's it. Like, you're never going to walk in and go, I'm just going to go through my 13 Iron Man that each has 4 different switches minimum to turn on, so I can turn on the head sculpt, the eyes in the head sculpt, the arc reactor, the kind of the whatchamacallit, the pulse blast in both hands, the light up hands, and then sometimes even the thighs. No one is going to do that, because by the time you get onto the second one, the first one's already died. So you need to have them like wired up, or fusion reactor, soap reactor kit, or whatever, or just don't light them up, which they look great lit up. In fairness, just from behind me there, the Mech Test Tony lit up, and let's face it, he's got loads of wires all over him, so it's really easy. You don't even have to hide wires. Mark 3 is lit up, so again, eyes, chest, parts of the legs as well, which look pretty cool. The Mark 6, my favorite Iron Man, and the Mark 1. Okay, anyway. So this is the Darth Maul 2.0 LED light up function powered by USB for the Bloodfin. 2 newly developed head sculpts with separate rolling eyeballs. LED lightsaber powered by USB. Okay, look, they're in the right direction, but they're just not there yet with those lightsabers. They're base lit, the bottoms light up, and then they narrow towards the top. I never really liked the way the HotToys sabers narrow towards the top. Like, from what I remember from lightsabers, like, in original trilogy or prequels, like, they were pretty much the same diameter from the whole way across. That's how I remember it anyway. And what else? You got his goggles and a bunch of swap out hands. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, There's 10, so that's 5 pairs at least, 10 hands, and maybe the ones he has on as well, so maybe he's at 12 then. Alright, so 405 and it's hit waitlist. So I really like this look. If I was using this guy, I'd probably have him with the cloak. I really like the cloak hooded look, and I love how oversized the hood is. I always kind of like that Sith or Jedi look with the oversized hoods. I like the probe droid as well. I don't know, does that light up actually? I must actually check. You know what, I'm going to give a quick check here before we look at these blogger images. Alright, so if I click in here, I should be able to get the additional details. Collector edition, special edition with Sith speeder. What is the special edition? Oh, the coins. Alright, moving on. They're kind of cool. They're kind of cool. I know I'm a member of the 501st, and coins are a big thing in the 501st, but not necessarily for 6 scale, but yeah. Right, so details. What's in the box? I want to see. So we know that the lightsaber are USB powered. We know that the bloodfin is USB powered. Weapons, accessories, 1 Sith probe droid, doesn't say anything about light up or anything like that. So, alright. Just going to flick through these images. So, from what I've seen, again, I took a quick look at this earlier on the HotToys official Instagram and Facebook. I had a look through some of the comments as well. Oh my god, the comments. I need to stop looking at the comments. It's all like people commenting on the thing that they want or whatever, saying that there's no need for this or whatever. Look, I think the 1.0 was alright. I thought the 1.0 was still pretty cool. The main complaints that I heard from the 1.0 was that the head sculpt wasn't all the way there. Again, these are just things that I'm hearing. I don't have it. And that the tailoring, you know, needed a bit of work. But from what I understand, they've updated the tailoring on this. I think that looks incredible. I love that. I love just like how naturally he's sitting on it. I love the blood fin. It's a very cool speeder with a kind of a half circle type thing. I love how the cloak is sitting, so it just covers up, you know, his horns, but you can still see his face. Even the way he's holding the bike, it just looks natural, and his feet on the kind of, I suppose, pedals or whatever, like footrests. And I like the shape, how the cloak is draping as well. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I think the head sculpts are great, and I like the Sith eyes. There's very unique eyes he has, and there'd be separate rolling eyeballs function, the two of them, I'd imagine. Obviously, they've edited out the kind of translucent pole to hold up the Sith droid. I think that was, I really liked. I just thought that was cool. And he lands in his ship. Even his ship is kind of incredible looking. He comes out meaning business with the Sith speeder. He sends the pro droid off. He's got even the gadgets he did. He was on a mission to get this kid, and I really liked that Tatooine showdown scene when he jumps off the Sith speeder against Liam Neeson. Of course, Liam Neeson's one of our own, you know. I think the head sculpt's good. I mean, yeah, like there's no mistaking who it is. No mistaking who it's supposed to be. I think it looks pretty good. Don't think he ever had the double blade like that. The first time you see the double blade was on Naboo, I believe. When he was fighting, in Tatooine, it was just the one blade, and you thought it was a normal lightsaber. Well, okay, let's face it, this was completely spoiled for me. Like you couldn't, like between like the Hasbro or Kenner toys or whatever it was at the time, and the lightsabers themselves in the shops, and then the trailers and people telling you, like everyone knew it was a double-bladed lightsaber. But if you hadn't been paying attention, you were watching it, you might have noticed that the actual handle was very long, so you might have been able to put 2 and 2 together. I like the screen on the blood fin here. That's pretty cool, and that lights up as well. And of course, there's a green on the back as well. I really like this. In fairness to Jose, Jose's trying to get me to buy this. Like, I'm going to remain strong, but like, in fairness, if there was one figure that I could get from the prequels, and look, saying that now, I'm a Trooper guy, and I have 2. Actually, it's common knowledge. I do have 2 prequel figures. In fairness, I have Cody and I have the clone pilot, because they're just 2 incredible looking troopers, and they're part of the trooper display. But if I have to get one like non-trooper, it probably would be Maul, and it would be this version, and I would want the blood fin, and I would wire it up and everything like that, because it's an iconic figure, an iconic character. The double-bladed lightsaber, the striking red and black look, the horns, just everything. It's a great design, and you know what? The fact that the guy was a martial arts expert, that didn't hurt either. The best lightsaber battle I've ever seen in live action, hands down, Episode 1, The Duel of Fates. Hands down. You get 2 Jedis more or less in their prime. Well, I suppose You could argue that Obi-Wan was a Padawan, so he wasn't a full Jedi yet, so he's not necessarily in his prime, and then Liam Neeson's a bit older, but then you had the Sith, who was in his prime, and just the whole like double-bladed lightsaber against the two singles, that's very, very cool. And a lot of stuff, the stunts he was doing, was like, yeah, this guy can actually do this in real life. So it just the choreography was second to none. My favorite though lightsaber battle is probably Vader and Luke in Empire Strikes Back, because it's just what that meant and how important that was, and it just, you know, has the, you know, Darth Vader absolutely destroying Luke and cutting off his hands, and the reveal of, you know, saying he was his father, and it's very cinematically shot there. It's kind of dark. It has the dark kind of, I suppose the shadows, kind of the kind of almost blue and black look, and then of course the lightsabers, the glow of Luke's blue lightsaber in his face, and then the glow of the red lightsaber, and that, you know, the clash together, the contrast, fantastic stuff. So in terms of like cinematic, that's probably my favorite lightsaber battle. But like in terms of like, you know, blow for blow, the actual choreography, yeah, it is episode 1. So that looks a bit awkward. All that stuff that I was saying about how like naturally he was posed in the other is kind of nearly the opposite here. This kind of looks a bit not as good as the other pose. It's just how it's posed. It's like the Dewback. A lot of the poses I've seen with the Sand Trooper on the Dewback look really awkward. But then I saw Pete from OFAC, from, you know, Only Fools and Collecting Weekly. He posed his Sand Trooper 1.0, that's the one with the orange pauldron, on the Dewback, and it looks great. So yeah, angles matter. I like the way this guy made the effort though. CGE Rock went out and brought him out to the desert or some sand, or maybe that's just a sand pit. Very, very cool. I'm happy enough with the tailoring here. I would be 100% going Neo LED on this. I would not use the stock lightsaber. I put him up in the blood fin with the probe droid, and I would not use the double-bladed lightsaber until I got a custom Neo LED in. Really happy with the head sculpt too. I think this looks really good. Oh, that's cool. Like even with the dry ice and the smoke coming up behind him, that's cool. I can see, I've seen people kind of say like, you know, the tailoring is still a bit too baggy. I think maybe it might be a little bit loose, but like, I mean, the hood was huge in the movie, and the things, you know, it wasn't like a fitted cloak he was wearing. And I think still, compared to images I've seen of the 1.0, I do think this tailoring is better. I don't think it's the same. I love the look of this. Just with the LEDs in the back and the screen lighting up there, I'd have to have this powered up and posed in a way that you could see. I don't know how you'd pose this. You'd probably pose it to the side even, or an angle. I'd want to see that screen. I wouldn't have it straight out towards you. You know what I mean? Have to be at an angle so you can see it. Even that, like, so simple. I want this. Hey, this is good. Gotta be strong though. I think the bloggers and yeah. I wish they didn't kill him. I mean, he should be dead. I'm not buying this Clone Wars thing, like he comes back to life. I know it's Star Wars and stuff like that, but there has to be some sort of consistency. And while he was cool in the Clone Wars, like I watched all the Clone Wars, and you know, you accept, okay, he's back now, it's a cartoon, whatever, get on with it, Star Wars. It's kind of like they really shouldn't have killed him off in episode 1. There's so much, it's a very diverse figure. You can have him posed like this with that sculpt. You can have it in an action pose with another sculpt. You can have him on the Sith speeder, you know, with the lightsaber just, you know, tucked away somewhere, you know, on his belt or wherever he stores it. You can have him posed with all the gear on, the hood and stuff like that next to the probe droid. There's loads of different things you can do. That's a great display. What I love about this is you're incorporating so much. You're using the base, and okay, I know a lot of people don't like that base, and that looks more like a kind of a nice finished wooden floor than a sand base, but they should have done some sort of a sandy texture on that. Look, I think what they've done is they've done a print of sand texture, and it's flat from what I can see here. But that there, they would have been forgiven. Like the Mandalorian sand base in this kind of shape without the footprints maybe. So like they should have maybe a textured base on top of this, so it actually kind of looked like sand, but so that he could still stand in it, if you get me, without the footprints. Because I think like the sand base, one of the annoying things about that is like the footprints are there, that's where you have to put them, it limits your posing. So they should have done some sort of texture on this and not have like a smooth wooden floor look. But I like this because you're incorporating him, the cloak, one of the head sculpts. You could light up the if you had a CCFL or Neo LED there, you could tuck the wires away and hide them really easily on this, because it's, you know, the wires are black, his cloak are black, there's loads of places to hide them, put them up the sleeve, you wouldn't see him. You have the blood fin then, and you also have the probe droid, and you have him kind of behind, so you're not really going to see as much of that translucent pole. In fairness, it looks pretty good there. Yeah, that's a very cool display. I like that a lot. I think 2 good releases today. I know that it's another Iron Man, but like, it's just Iron Man that I really like. It's my favorite Iron Man design. Articulation looks good in this, and then you've got like a particularly I think it's a good 2.0. It's not the same. You've got, I can't remember, did the first one only came with 1 sculpt, I believe, and I don't know, did it have separate rolling eyeballs function? If the DX it would have. I think it actually did have separate rolling eyeballs function. If it's DX it would have. But you've got like 2 head sculpts with this. I can't remember, did the original have 1 or 2 head sculpts? I think it only had 1. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that the original Maul, not the Clone Wars Maul now, not the Solo Maul, the actual Episode 1 original Maul, I think that was a DX, and I think it had separate rolling eyeballs function, but I think it only had 1 head sculpt. This has 2, and I think they're better as well. I can see the likeness a lot more, or enough to justify it. I like the little inclusion of the USB powered Sith speeder as opposed to batteries, but that's pretty cool. Alright, there's the kind of, yeah, that's the kind of iconic Naboo look. I think I'm done with this. It's tempting, I'm not gonna lie, it is tempting, but no, this one is not in pre-order. I'm gonna have to remain strong on this, but yeah, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know if you're picking this one up or not, and consider becoming a channel membership for additional exclusive perks. You can also follow me on Instagram and on X. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.